show. Tonight we present the work of the final year students, and to kick off proceedings I'd like to introduce the stars of the evening, the class of 2021 and their documentary piece, These Four Walls.
Oh, I think I accidentally unplugged the Wi-Fi.
I won't lie, fourth year is probably the easiest year ever. I mean, come on guys, we don't have exams, we don't have to get up early, and we get to stay at home. I really don't get why people are stressing. Look, I even got YouTube open here as my backup. I'm so ready for this. Fourth year, bring it on, baby. Let's do this.
At first, I thought it was absolutely brilliant because I wouldn't have to leave the house. But that quickly settled into not being enjoyable at all. And I never thought I would say that I actually missed going into college.
I'm okay with it now. At the start, I was really put off by it and I was really like unsure of what to think about it. But now it's just kind of my everyday life. So
I don't mind it. It is kind of 50-50 with me. But overall, I don't think it's the worst.
I just don't like it at all. It's the worst thing ever. I'd much rather be in college.
I actually quite like it. It's kind of hard not seeing your friends every day, but then again, like I suppose we have all each other's like social medias and like we can message each other.
Yeah, it's been hard to finish my degree from my bedroom, but I think I'm coping well. I don't have to stand at a freezing cold bus stop anymore. And I get a little bit of alliance, so, you know, silver linings and all that.
Mom said stop leaving your dirty clothes in the shower.
I'm busy.
You've been doing TikToks all day.
Okay, actually, you know what? I hate working from home. Once this pandemic is over, I'm moving out because I'm sick of this. Every single time I'm on a call, the postman comes with another package, the Wi-Fi crashes, or it's certainly my turn to do the dishwasher. It's like when I'm not on the call, they don't want to know me, or when I'm not doing college work, they don't care. As soon as it's time for a college call, out comes the Hoover, World War III starts, because someone's taken someone's goddamn jumper without asking again. But yeah, working from home is great.
Oh yeah, I hate online classes. But anyway, how do I undo that? I don't know, I've never used this. I presume it's just undo, Brian. No. Okay, never mind.
Probably just being comfortable in your own environment. And I suppose you can't really be late for class or anything like that because it's in your house, so.
Cutting the travelling times.
The lack of travel. There's much more of a kind of like direct question and answer system. I kind of feel like you can easily put your hand up or just type a question into, if you don't want to unmute yourself and speak.
Sorry guys, I'm just going to put myself on mute. Sorry, just one sec, just till I answer this. Yeah, listen, sorry, no, just the fourth years. Yeah, just the fourth years. Yeah, jeez, they're all in bed. They're in bed. I'm completely in bed. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna ring her, guys. I'm actually gonna mute her.
Yeah.
How do you mute somebody else's on the call?
Sinead? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry guys. Sorry, I thought I was on mute. Apologies. Oops.
The lack of engagement with classmates and the lecturer, I think, takes you away from what actually matters about college and why you go to college in the first place. So I think it kind of just ruins the experience.
I'm guilty of it myself, but I think my biggest pet peeve is when people don't have their cameras on, because like you don't realize how much you need like as much as you can face to face, like, so when people don't have their cameras on, you're kind of just looking at a blank screen.
Okay guys, seriously, I need you to turn on your cameras because I'm not even sure if any of you are here at this stage and nobody has their microphones on and it's impossible to tell if I'm just speaking into the void. So would you mind turning on your cameras? Can like one person turn on their cameras?
I'm not sure what we're all waiting for here. What's the quiet?
Good.
Do we all
That
have a
sounds good,
notion?
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I keep talking over you. I ask you a question and then I start talking, I'll shut up.
I don't know what I expected from the course. I just thought it was a good range of different things that you can do. So I think it was what I expected and more. Like,
Surpassed my expectations big time. I actually enjoy what I'm doing in college, which I didn't think I'd do. And I actually stuck it out for 4 years, surprisingly. So that's another thing. It's like nearly done now. So it's pretty good.
So like I was kind of going in not expecting much, and I was kind of like down, and the course has kind of welcomed me with open arms, and I've never looked back.
When I first started in the course, like in first year, I wanted to be a director, and that's kind of why I came into it. But now, like, my opinion has completely changed, and I kind of just like a bit of everything.
I was originally I would have been definitely more into like the film and TV side of it. I would have had really zero interest in audio when I started, but now that's become the thing that I enjoyed the most, and like the aspect of the course that I definitely kind of dived into the most.
the best food I ate in the canteen is an easy answer: hash browns. Hash browns are the best thing you can get. Friday morning hash brown. Elite food. Crunchy, greasy, filling, delicious.
The hash browns in Tala are incredible. They are so good. They're exactly what you need on a Friday morning.
The chips, bargain. The curry chips, and that was always my go-to, the chips. Or the hash browns. The hash browns are brilliant.
Basically lived off the curry and chips for a while.
I think it was the chips and the curry sauce. I think that was very good.
The Metro, cheap and sticky, isn't it?
Probably the time I nearly got killed by a fella in the Jacks for accidentally splashing water on his joint.
There was one day where me and Dara Gilson and Keane went to the Metro after Brenda's class in first year, and we finished, I think it was TV production or something, and we finished at 6 and we were in the Metro until like 3 a.m. or something, and I can't remember getting home. The best memory of the Metro is the memories that you don't have.
Oh, favorite memory? Well, I mean, it would have to be actually just attending workshops last year. Was it last October, November, where we were in class together, where we did some workshops. I don't think it was everybody was there, but it felt liberating. And I wish it could have been with absolutely everybody, and I wish it could be sometime soon, but that's a strong memory that stands out.
My favourite memory of your class is the personality. I mean, you are an incredibly pleasant, happy class. And you've had the worst kind of deal of lockdown because you've had the most lockdown, and you've dealt with that with good grace and with really excellent project work and just good humour. And so the fourth years have been my absolute high point of this year.
My favourite memory with you guys actually is the first class in first year. So media studies, way back, you probably don't even remember it, but it's always the kind of crappiest class because the first years are always sort of terrified and they're all sort of hiding and sort of rabbits in headlights look, but you guys weren't. So, and I always remember that is that some of you were sort of like, you know, we're in college, you know, and it was really obvious that you were like that. You all looked really enthusiastic and happy to be here.
At first I thought that my countryside aspect of me was kind of lost, but I think now I'm home, I'm kind of back in it. I don't think I've changed a bit. What? What are you talking about?
Like, I've picked up on a few things, let's say, but I'm not using them because I would feel awkward because it's not natural. This guy that I was talking to, who said that when he was in like middle school or high school, they said something like, if you can't lift her, you can't shift her, which is absolutely horrendous. And then I was like, okay, what is shift?
So my project is to do with I kind of always say disinformation, but it's to do with disinformation, misinformation, propaganda, and overload of information. So what I decided to do was I did a filter bubble, but I have 4 elements. So I have information overload, which is 15 screens showing news on the left, right, and middle. So you'll have 15 screens, and what it is it's just showing left-wing news, middle can be debate, but then right-wing news as well. And then the next element of it is I have a printer. Every time a news article or someone searches hoax, misinformation, disinformation, this starts to print out on a thermal printer. And what that does is that just shows, the information coming through, and it just kind of shows what the filtering of kind of stuff like that. And then what I've done is I've created a dome shape. And what happens is that it just signified the bubble itself, the filtering of the bubble, and your own bubble. Like, we live in our own filter bubble.
So for my multimedia project this year, I am making it's kind of like a short film. It's to a poem that my sister wrote after my granddad passed away last March, but it's a mixture of like live action featuring myself and animation. I'm basically combining all of the elements that are explored through CDM into one project, so I find it really exciting. I made my character, I designed him, he's Little Bean, that's what I call him. He's completely, he can take the form of basically anything. He can stretch, he can shrink, he can do whatever he wants. He's lovely. I went out on a shoot day with my boyfriend and my friend Quiva, and we got it all shot in a day.
I am doing an animation project, and I am doing it as a group with another student, Mark. However, we're not working together on the project. The idea came from the fact that we're all separated now, so half the time we don't know what's going on in someone's life, and like, you just see them in front of the screen. So you'll have a Zoom call with them like now, and then you'll leave and their life goes on behind the scenes. So the project is based on that idea. So my character interacts with his character, but only through Zooms, and anything that happens outside of that, his character knows nothing about. And we've kept to that ourselves as well, so I don't know anything about his project either. And we're like using different animation styles, we're using different skills. I have no idea what's going on currently. I think it's this weekend I get to find out finally what he's doing. And yeah, exciting.
My major project in photography is called Beautiful Tala. In the past year, I explored my hometown of Tala, and really try and showcase its aesthetic beauty, especially in comparison with how poorly Tala is portrayed in the media. I originally had an idea of showing like a lot of the modern aesthetic of Tala, but as the project progressed, I realized that I wanted to focus more on the iconic aesthetic of Tala, really. Showing those iconic buildings, the square, Shamrock Rovers, but not only that, but the Priory and all the history that Tala has to offer as well. So it's a mix of old and new.
So this year for video production, myself, Jack and Carl all worked on a documentary, and we really struggled trying to come up with an idea because obviously everything had to be filmed online. But our lecturer, Garrett, suggested that we shot a film on tickets. We all have kept tickets. I myself am a bit of a hoarder, so we just thought we'll ask people why they kept a certain ticket and the memories behind it. And we actually ended up making well, I like to think it's a bit biased, but a great documentary. We basically recorded everything on Zoom, quite like this, and we just arranged that they would shoot part on their phone to the side and part straight ahead. Once all the material was gathered, we could then just edit it away on Premiere Pro, and we'd send it off and we check in on each other by sending it through OneDrive, which was quite tedious, but it was the only way we could do it, really.
By far the biggest one this year is called Your Brain and Music. Me and Michael created it. Essentially, it's exactly as the title says. It's a documentary, a short one, about how our brains react to music and not just music, but sound. And there's a little bit about how sound contributes to film and music contributes to film. We got a chance to interview the lecturers and another audio professional called Nikki Moss, who is a professional sound designer and has even won an award for that.
So
for my audioscape, I'm doing it based on one of my favorite singers called Lane Staley. I think mental health and just the awareness around it is being mentioned a lot around these times. So I kind of wanted to put that into my audioscape. We were told to have an emotive finishing in it. So despite the dark themes in it, it leads to a happier ending in a way.
For photography, my project is, so we're doing a personal project. So for this, we create a body of images that are basically creating a theme. And for me, I skate. So I've done portraits of my skater friends, and I've done it in the location of a car park. When I was shooting my personal project at the start, it was last year, and it was during winter. So it was kind of cold and wet, so we would just kind of go indoors to car parks, and surprisingly car parks are really lit, so they were really bright and they were really good for capturing pictures. So I went to one of my friends' car parks, and he's in Tallaght, so it really worked.
What day is it today? I haven't slept in 2 days. Okay? I don't even know what date it is today. I have no idea. All I know is that they are coming. The assignments are coming like they have come for my sanity. They warned me about fourth year. They warned me, but damn it, I didn't listen. Wait, what day is it today? Oh, for
Hey, don't forget about me.
That was superb work there from the fourth year students. And now I'd like to introduce Jean O'Halloran, the programme coordinator, and whose work was instrumental in setting up the media programme in Tallaght a number of years ago. The media programme has been through several iterations, and the latest iteration and branding of the programme is media production and digital arts. Jean.
Hello everyone. I just want to say a few words on behalf of the lecturing staff and technical support on the Creative Digital Media programme on the Tallaght campus of TU Dublin. We've been delighted and I think a bit overwhelmed at our final year students' performance over the last 3 semesters. You've all managed to complete your degree, working harder and under much more difficult circumstances than any other graduating year over the last 26 years of the programme. And the work you're exhibiting here today from Rua Red is an enormous testament to your abilities and your potential in the coming years. What we've learned about you, and hopefully you've recognised in yourselves as well, is that you have an impressive capacity to adapt to circumstances. You don't allow obstacles to stand in your way. Perhaps you're more resilient than you thought too. It's been such a tough academic year, and I think particularly so for you final year students. I know you've all missed the experience of working together with your classmates in face-to-face settings, the camaraderie, the interaction with your lecturers, and certainly I know your lecturers have also missed that. The work today is certainly emblematic of the times we're living through. These 4 walls, both consciously and I think also unconsciously, resonate with a sense of increased solitude and also reflectiveness. Whether that's in Evan's valiant attempts to master the individual skills of a skateboarder, or Anna's poignant piece on loss and bereavement, or I think on the documentary you've just watched as you all captured your thoughts and insights in this last strange final year at university. All the work speaks in various registers about our collective COVID experience, and you all really should be very proud of your achievements. Never underestimate the importance of the creative skill set you're graduating with. Society doesn't only need medical practitioners, scientists, engineers, business people. We also need storytellers, good storytellers, who can help us interpret and critique the world around us as we respond to the several extraordinary and sometimes alarming changes that are occurring. These stories will occur across film, documentary, news, social media, computer games, advertising, marketing campaigns, and many of you will be working collaboratively or independently as storytellers, or to use the parlance of industry, as content creators. What this period also highlighted for all of us is the need for creative digital skills across the economy. So whilst you may be applying your skill set in the media industry, you might also be working in any sector of industry or commerce. Also, because of the mix of media and theory, I think you're all very well placed to pursue postgraduate work in a number of fields, and I hope many of you decide to take that route in the years ahead. The work you've made and are exhibiting today, I think, demonstrates an already very sophisticated capacity for storytelling. And every year I make this point because I'm suddenly so impressed at what I see here today, at the range and vision and abilities that you have across multiple language systems, not just word, not just language. We all hope that the skills and knowledge we've shared with you over the years will give you some greater confidence to take on the next chapter of your lives. And we look forward to welcoming you back as guest lecturers in the future as you speak to the next wave of media practitioners. Finally, I'd like to thank Lisa Boyle, Executive Director of Rua Red, and all the staff here who've been stellar partners to us over the years and are hosting our degree show again, and thankfully making the work available for real live presence over the next couple of days. Dr. Damien Roach, our head of school, provides support every year ensuring this event can take place. And I think Deirdre, Tom, Garrett and Sinead deserve honourable mention in curating and managing this event under very complex conditions. I think I should also mention the team at Wicked Visuals, whose help in coordinating this live stream has been invaluable. And I'd say they're getting some wicked visuals at the moment. We'd also like to recognise the support and contribution of your families, your parents, your partners, your siblings, your children. I think all of them have perhaps provided you with the time and space, perhaps financial support, perhaps a kick up the rear end every now and then to ensure that you have completed your degree and completed this work to such a high standard. I hope you all have celebrations planned for this evening, and perhaps over the summer some of you will be able to get together to raise a deserving glass to the class of 2021. I'd like to pass you back to Deirdre now as we move on to the next event.
Thank you, Jake. Thanks for that. And now we come to the part of the afternoon that features our awards, the CDMs, where we honour excellence in various disciplines. I'm going to announce the Multimedia Award myself, and then I'm going to call on the various different lecturers to announce the various awards. So again, I'm not going to delay too much. It was a difficult decision, as it is many, many years. But this year's Multimedia Award, this year's CDM, goes to Lisa Murray.
Hello? Hello?
Your camera and my camera.
No, my camera, Yeah. Hello? Oh. Hello? Oh, there we are. A bit of... thank you very much. I don't know if people can hear me. I can. Hello? Yeah. Hi. Hello. Thank you very much. No, my camera, Yeah. Hello? Oh.
Just talk now.
Oh, there we are. A bit of... There's a lot of backlog, but thanks very much. I really appreciate it. I put my heart and soul into this with the team from Germany, so it was a lot of fun to make.
Well done, Lisa, for that. And now I'm going to ask Garrett Daly to present the award for video.
Adios.
Hi everybody, I'm delighted to be here to present this award for video production this year. A very tough year really for a practical module. I think the notion of us doing video production online and remotely terrified everybody, and when it became a reality, we had to deal with it, and I think you've all dealt with it extraordinarily well. I mean, I'm so impressed. Over the 2 semesters, you created 13 video projects, and what's even more amazing, it's the smallest number of participants that I had in video production. The thing about the awards is, I suppose everybody's a nominee in terms of this category. So I want to just give a shout out to each member of this video production group. So I'll start with Dacian. You came to this module as an audio guy, but you excelled in telling stories in fiction and in documentary, which was amazing. Michael, likewise, working, I suppose, firstly on an on-campus project, and then yourself and Dacian creating a great documentary together. Wonderful potential unfolding. Erin and Zach, finding a way to tell a story at home, which I think was surprising for you because you discovered the limitations, but what you also discovered is that's one of the things about working in film, is that you just have to do it to really learn. But you made a great short film. Luca, quietly creating, first in fiction, then in documentary, and finding your way, which is a very creative way. Carl Murphy, you started slow, but you know what? You got into an absolute sprint towards the end, and you finished with a well-crafted documentary, so please keep it going. Carl Delaney, great at graphics, engaging contributor, the most impressive COVID hair growth as well, keeping us all entertained, but keep telling those stories and bringing your passions to the screen. Oisin, farthest away in Kerry, but telling stories that matter to you and telling them very well. Jack, passionate about sport and already making inroads within the industry, which is no surprise, so please keep it going, and you always do it with great humour, never lose that. Joseph, your Blair Witch style found footage filmmaking got us all interested, and then you hit us with a personal deep thinking short piece as well. Again, quietly finding the ways to tell stories that matter to you. And finally, Sarah, a massive progression actually over the course of the year in finding yourself to be a skilled and creative editor. Perhaps this could be a future path for you, which I really hope you might consider going forward. So congrats to you all. It's been a tough year, but I'm really proud of how you turned an incredibly difficult, challenging year into stories on screen. People keep asking me, how did they manage to do it? But you actually did it. You found ways to tell these stories, and I hope people do watch the reel to see what you were able to create. And my role is simply a guide, and you guys did the creative work, so I'm really proud of you. So moving on to the award. The award this year for Outstanding Contribution in Video is very hard to decide actually when you consider the work that you've all put in. The recipient, however, demonstrated a consistency across both semesters to simply put their head down, plan, film, and execute stories on screen. Their work caught the attention of a film festival earlier this year, and I suspect there'll be many more to come. I'm excited to see what this filmmaker will capture over the next few years. So I'm delighted to present the award to writer and director of The Dark Room and Along the Back Road, Oisin Irwin. So Oisin's not present with us to give a speech, but congratulations to him. Now, unfortunately, Brian Hanna is not here to award the radio award, so I said that I will present it on his behalf. He passed over some notes that I'm going to share with you, and he said also, I suppose, that there was many contenders for this award because everybody grasped the bizarre circumstances of the past year and ran with it. But this person in particular, he was very impressed by, because from day one, this person found out who taught the radio modules. They made themselves known to him and absolutely put in huge amounts of hard work, always ambitious, prepared to work their way to it as well. On a personal note, I can add, because I would have worked with this student as well, they have an insatiable appetite to learn, always creating, never gives in, and hard work does pay off. So on behalf of Brian Hanna, who says it's a genuine pleasure to give the award for outstanding contribution to radio, to Dacian Puskas.
So, hi everyone. First, I'd like to thank my lecturers. They really went above and beyond this year, and they provided the best experience under such terrible circumstances that we had. And I'm so glad to have been taught by such professionals and also people that I can have such a great laugh with. I want to thank Garrett and Brian, obviously, because I've annoyed them the most this year. So I wanted to mention you guys. Thank you so much for putting up with me. And also all my classmates and stuff. You've all been amazing. And honestly, I'm just so glad to have been a part of CDM. There's just something really special about it. And, cheers, guys. Have an amazing night. Take care, guys. Good luck.
And now I'd like to call on photographer and lecturer Tom Jenna to present the Photography Award.
Cheers, guys. Have an amazing night.
Thanks very much, Deirdre. Thank you. Well, welcome everyone to this year's degree show. It's all online, but I hope you're enjoying it. I've certainly enjoyed, having you all in the photography modules over the last few years. I'd just like to give a shout out to, Brenda O'Brien, who delivered the first year module. So thanks, Brenda, for all your work there. The award for the photography student this year can only go to one person, but you've all done, really good work, really interesting work. There's been a range of work from, self-portraiture to kind of esoteric black and white landscapes. The award goes to someone who did some documentary work in third year and then followed that through into fourth year, and involving skaters and skate parks. So the photography award goes to Michael Gilbert. So congratulations, Mikey. This one's for you. But I just want to say congratulations to everyone. It's been a difficult year, and you've all done really well with all the online learning. So congratulations to everyone. But this award here, this one's for you, Mikey. Cheers.
And back to Gino Hall. Gino Hall.
Wow, guys, just wanted to say thanks to Tom and specifically. It's been really great photography, and I think everyone has deserved it, so fair play to everyone. Thank you.
So I'm back to present the award for the theory category this evening. I think the award should go to all of you because perhaps, and I could be wrong on this, but I felt that one of the areas where you all seem to excel over the last 2 semesters is in the area of the theory subjects. Perhaps the lockdown suited, not so much necessarily the delivery, but it's the independent work that you were all doing. So I felt that everybody had improved a great deal over the last 2 semesters in terms of their application and diligence, around dissertation and theory subjects. I would like to give everybody an award. If we were in the US, maybe that's what we do. But I'd like to give everyone an award for, most improved. However, we have to choose one person. And we discussed it as a team. So the award for theory goes to the person who probably has been most consistent, has been most applied in terms of their research over the 4 years. And I hope all of you have enjoyed the theory element. I know you come for the practice, but hopefully you've enjoyed the theoretical elements of the program too. So without further ado, the award goes to Bronwyn Barrett. Well done, Bronwyn.
Oh, did you know you were getting the award?
No, I didn't. Hang on. Yeah, it is. I need to wait for this. Maybe I should just talk now because that's what everyone else did. Thank you so much for the, thank you so much for that. That's really exciting. I wouldn't have thought I'd win anything, so that's really exciting. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed the course. Really, really I have. So thank you so much, and thanks for everything. Woo!
Hi everyone, so it's Sinead and I am here to present the Student Choice Award. So I always say that I'm going to prepare a speech for this one and every year I forget to do it, so I'm just kind of winging it here. But that's okay because it's your award anyway, so you all know why you voted for this person, but before I announce who the winner is this year, I just wanted to say that, and this is from everybody, is that it's been an absolute pleasure teaching all of you, and I genuinely do think you all deserve this. Especially the year that's been in it. You've all been utterly amazing. You've been fantastic from day one, our very first class together, and all the way up to this Tuesday, actually, where we had another class this Tuesday. So starting work, guys, starting work and doing all of this. You're all amazing, and I wish you could all get one of these, but the award was a runaway winner this year, and I think you all know why, and the award winner is Anna Sherlock.
Yay!
Okay, our network of graduates are hugely important to us, and I'm always constantly amazed as to where graduates are working. And on that note, I'm going to call Garrett Daly to introduce our Alumnus Award.
A number of years ago, when the course started these awards, we started these awards and we felt that it would be great to celebrate, as Deirdre said, graduates that have accelerated in their careers. These graduates are wonderful examples of those currently on the course, are wonderful examples for those currently on the course, and I suppose for those of you that are finishing fourth year this year. To date, we've celebrated directors, radio reporters, commissioners and producers, all of whom are working for some of the leading media companies in Ireland and indeed around the world. They are graduates of this course who wear the association proudly, and we're proud of them and their achievements. And today's recipient is no different. Lisa Burke graduated with first class honours from Creative Digital Media in 2015. In the college, she was an active participant in the likes of ITTFM as a radio presenter and producer. She volunteered as a curator here, actually, for a young curators project initiated by Rua Red called Unfold that travelled around Ireland. She also volunteered for Spun Out and Senator Catherine Zappone at the time as a digital content creator. I had the good fortune of lecturing Lisa in the video production class of 2015, and it's fair to say it was a privilege to watch a young creator discover their talent as an editor. You recognise a good editor because usually they're someone who's still in that room when everyone else has gone home. The lights have been switched off, the security guards are trying to get everybody out of the building. That was Lisa, crafting, creating, one frame after another, and finding a way to tell those stories. Her talents were recognised. She won an award that year at the Limerick Film Festival, which is now the Richard Harris Film Festival, for Best Editing on a film called Infinite. And so it began. She went on to do a master's in Dunleary in radio and television production, again first class honours. Her work began in creating corporate videos, and then she moved to work with UTV Ireland in 2016. Now, while that TV station didn't survive, Lisa certainly did. She began work with Observe, working on the likes of Electric Picnic and programmes like First Dates. Radio 2 was ever present, presenting and producing programmes for the likes of Flirt FM and Dublin City FM. Later in 2016, she began work with one of Ireland's leading independent production companies, Tyrone Productions. Known on the world stage as the producers of Riverdance, the company has a massive output in critically acclaimed screen projects. Now, there are too many credits to mention the work she does with Tyrone, but I'd like to just highlight two. As an assistant editor, Lisa worked on two landmark television series. The first, The Irish Revolution, narrated by Cillian Murphy, a major documentary marking the centenary of the Irish War of Independence. The second, The Hunger, narrated by Liam Neeson, tells the story of the famine and its consequences. Incredible work. You should watch those programmes if you've not seen them. But it proved that Lisa is an emerging talent who's only getting started with her career in the Irish screen industry. And we can't wait to see what the next few years will bring frame by frame. We're delighted to present this award to Lisa, and I'm also delighted to say that she's here with us this evening to speak as well. So congratulations, Lisa Burke, the recipient of the 2021 Creative Digital Media Alumni Award.
Thank you, Gareth, and thanks everyone for having me here. It's very surreal being back after this time. I just want to say I'm extremely honoured to get this because, as we all know, creative digital media has always had a heap of talented alumni, and I'm sure this year is going to be no different. I'm lucky that I get to work in television every day and I get to make something that I'm extremely passionate about, and I suppose a lot of that goes back to me being grateful for the lecturers I've had over the years and the support from work at the minute, and Tyrone Productions is a really great company. So, I mean, from the calibre of work that's coming out now, there's no doubt that your alumni are going to keep getting stronger and stronger. And I suppose the only advice I can offer you in this really strange year is don't give up, don't let the rejection knock you down, hold on to your passion, and just enjoy the journey wherever you end up. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for that. Now, I'd like to introduce a short video piece from the director of Rua Red, the art gallery that we're in at the moment. Rua Red, the relationship with Rua Red has been really important to the programme, and the director has been hugely supportive, and she's unable to be here tonight in person. She has another meeting, but she's recorded a short piece about the CDM students and about the programme in order to express her feelings about the programme. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Melissa Boyle and I'm the director of Rua Red. It's an absolute pleasure to be asked to speak at the launch of the Creative Digital Media Degree Show 2021. Over the last year, we have all adapted to blurring the lines between home, the personal and the professional, and we've even become quite adept at it. However, being under pressure to be creative and come up with new work in the midst of a pandemic that is also representative of 3 years' work is a massive ask. However, all of you have overcome this and come up with a body of work that is reflective of these times and your individual concerns. This is a massive feat, and I congratulate each and every one of you. The partnership between Rua Red and TU Dublin is massively important to us. Our ethos at Rua is to support artists at every stage of their career, and we do this in various ways through our education programme, our studio programmes, our exhibition programme and our work with third level colleges and universities such as TU Dublin and NCAD. The students from TU Dublin are vitally important to us, and it's important for you to know that, and I look forward and love meeting with the students each and every year. You ask questions, you're naturally inquisitive about the gallery and how it works and what we do. Hi, my name is Melissa Boyle and I'm the director of Rua Red. It's an absolute pleasure to be asked to speak at the launch of the Creative Digital Media Degree Show 2021. Over the last year, we have all adapted to blurring the lines between home, the personal and the professional, and we've even become quite adept at it. However, being under pressure to be creative and come up with new work in the midst of a pandemic that is also representative of 3 years' work is a massive ask. However, all of you have overcome this and come up with a body of work that is reflective of these times and your individual concerns. This is a massive feat and I congratulate each and every one of you. The partnership between Rua Red and TU Dublin is massively important to us. Our ethos at Rua is to support artists at every stage of their career, and we do this in various ways through our education programme, our studio programmes, our exhibition programme and our work with third level colleges and universities such as TU Dublin and NCAD. The students from TU Dublin are vitally important to us and it's important for you to know that, and I look forward and love meeting with the students each and every year. You ask questions, you're naturally inquisitive about the gallery and how it works and what we do. And the students from TU Dublin have never been afraid to stretch the boundaries and have high expectations in the presentation of their work. This is the core of good professional practice. Usually, at this point of the year, we would have met, discussed your work and been very much involved in the install and marketing of your show. This year, however, has been very different. But please know, and we would really like to extend our hand of welcome, please know that you're welcome at any time in Rua Red for a chat and a coffee. And my staff and I would gladly assist you in the future should you want our advice or guidance for the next steps in your career as artists. And then lastly, congratulations again, for this is a fantastic online showcase and I really do wish each and every one of you the very best in all your future endeavours. Thank you.
And thanks to Melissa for those words. I'd like to direct you now, if you want to have a look at the student showcase of work, there is a very comprehensive suite of student portfolios. Each student has designed in professional development their own website showcasing their work and their own interests and their particular areas of expertise. And that is on www.creativemediadegree.ie, or you can also access it at www.mediaproduction.ie. You can see all the different student portfolios, you can see the show reels, you can watch that. You can also see some of the work on our Vimeo, Facebook and Instagram social media sites. All this has been managed by the students in a wonderfully professional way through their professional development module, where they had teamwork in graphic design, online gallery and so on, and they have just really impressed me with the work they did in that area. So check out the work on creativemediadegree.ie. That brings us to the closing part of the presentations and awards, and it brings us to the last section of the opening of the show, which is the show reel. This show reel contains the video and multimedia work, and it consists of extracts mostly of all the pieces. You'll see the breadth of work that the students have done. Garrett spoke about the work the students have done in video, and they have been equally impressive in multimedia, photography, audio, and across all the different theory subjects as well. So it really is a huge achievement on their part, this whole to reach this stage in the show. So we're going to switch over to the show reel. I'm going to say goodbye on behalf of the lecturers all here and the lecturers who are looking in tonight, and to encourage you to go and check out all the work on the website as well. Thank you very much and good night.
Amy?
Shit. Hey, I need a favor.
I urge you all to stay in place for a short while longer. The end is in sight as the vaccines are being rolled out. We mustn't let our guard down now.
I'm sick of this. Right, dinner. Let's go.
once again urge you all to stay in place. By staying in our homes whenever possible, we will limit the spread as the vaccines are being distributed. This will expedite the process and bring an end to these trying times. We know you're sick, Saoirse. We're coming. We'll be there soon.
We're coming to get you, Saoirse.
Coming. They're coming. They're coming. Fuck.
You know what's real.
It's just another day, sitting in my room, on the edge of my bed, staring through my dusty half-closed blinds. My eyes were fixed and glazed over, looking out onto the image of a sunny suburban day, the image being slightly interrupted through the tiny slits of my blinds, like grainy film footage being fast-forwarded. My mind was totally separated from the sunny image, as I was deep in thought, thinking it was that time again, summertime. For me, 4 months of solemn, uninflicted loneliness and boredom, praying that life would come to me, but knowing it never would. I knew the way it would go and how it would make me feel alone and empty and on the cusp of losing my mind as the summer months drew on. While deep in thought and my eyes still fixated, my mind began racing. Thoughts of impending doom passed me by. A sharp burning sensation hits me in my stomach, making me feel sick to the core. A churning, stabbing sensation follows right into the pit of my stomach again. My veins in my arms begin to burn quite intensely. The heat from the day starts to course through me, irradiating through my whole body. My body begins to slightly shake and give off a buzzing sound, a ringing in my ears, a low-tone hum, a sound I would become accustomed to. My heart starts to beat faster and faster and faster until it begins to start palpitating. I grasp, trying to fill my lungs with air to calm myself. Deep breaths swell around my mind. Nothing is working. I can't calm my body down. It's too late. I'm not in control. I bury my face into the creases of my pillow and throw my duvet over my head. My eyes become heavier as thoughts were in my mind. I shut my eyes. The darkness encapsulates my mind and turns it off as I pass out. What just feels like a matter of seconds later, I open my eyes. My vision is groggy and distorted. My bedroom is in darkness apart from the orange glows of light cascading down my bedroom wall. I get up slowly from my bed and go to my window. The lights and lampposts light up my street. I stand and listen to the still silence of the night air and the buzzing of the street lights. I slowly close my blinds and get into my bed, shut my eyes and begin to mutter under my breath. Another day of summer is gone.
For centuries, humans have been mesmerized by the sounds of instruments. The vibration caused by an object which is later intercepted by the brain creates what we call sound. But it is that pluck of a string that creates a certain sound which we also associate with a certain emotion. And music has captured our emotions for decades. But why? How? My name is Dacian Puskas, and in this documentary we will journey into our minds to understand how humans perceive audio and why music is so appealing. The word music brings many different thoughts into our heads. For example, maybe some of us may think of classical music when we hear this word. Maybe it brings a memory of older songs that we grew up with. Or maybe we think of a song we just heard on the radio that is now stuck in our heads. Whatever music may mean to you, we do know that it is strangely addicting. So what exactly makes music so appealing to us? Well, Daniel Levitin, the author of This Is Your Brain on Music, says that according to some brain scans, all regions of the brain light up when we listen to music. Levitin explains to us that music can help us perform better as well. Ever see those headphone commercials and wonder why athletes like Michael Jordan always seem to be wearing them? Well, according to Levitin, music helps us perform better because our hearts synchronize with the music BPM. BPM is beats per minute. As indicated, it is how many times we hear a beat in a song per minute. This makes energetic songs give us that rush we need for a workout. For example, pop music is 116 BPM. Slower genres like reggae range from 60 to 90 BPM. Faster music like techno or house can go up to 130 BPM. Dubstep is around 140 BPM, half time to 70 BPM, which means it feels like 70, but it is not. So music can take over our hearts, and essentially our entire bodies. Ever hear the term, let the music take you over? Well, it can, and it does.
The way our brains, as the interface between what we are as organic beings and the nature of music itself, that is more the key to what makes it an ideal accompaniment at different parts of your life. But when you start to ask what music is fundamentally, you have to get down to, well, what sound is fundamentally. Sound is just different degrees of pressure in the air caused by things moving around and disturbing that air. That's nothing particularly emotive. It's nothing particularly organically pleasing or displeasing or anything. It's literally just tiny, tiny little bits of weather.
Music has an incredible effect on the brain, and some scientists say that it can even heal you. So does that mean that doctors can go about and prescribe you some Bon Jovi tracks to help you with your neck pain? Probably not, but certain songs may help in other areas.
This is my ticket. It's from my interrailing experience back in 2018, I think. And I kept it because it was completely chaotic. And I keep a lot of tickets in general. I broke my phone on that trip, so this ticket is the memories. I also went to see the Killers there, and this is my Killers shrine with all of my tickets and all the times I went to see them.
I'm a bit of a plane fanatic. An av geek is what people call people like me. I love to travel. I love everything about aviation and airplanes. I love the experience of something new, so I got loads of other tickets as well. The ticket that I kept was for my first time flying to a country called Moldova on an airline called Air Moldova. It was a very old Russian plane called a Yak-42, would you believe? Tiny plane that was cold, but it got us there.
It's one of my old princess boxes, and this is filled entirely with tickets, and there's even more under my bed. I'm definitely a bit of a hoarder, but I mainly keep the tickets that mean the most to me. A ticket that I've kept after all this time was to see Lizzo in Cologne in November 2019. I've kept it after all these years because It was just one of the craziest days/nights I've ever been.
So the ticket I have is from my first Liverpool match when we played Sheffield at Anfield in 2007. I got it as part of my birthday present, so I was 8 years old at the time, so like football was the be all and end all. It was a really exciting time. I kept it because it's my first football match I've ever seen live.
I've kept a few. I have 2 more concert tickets behind me. I have a concert from the Archie Monkeys and the one from Town Pala, and an exhibition ticket to see Kurt Cobain's memorabilia. So the ticket that I have is a concert at the Ivy Gardens for Mac DeMarco, and I kept it because it was the last concert I went to before COVID, so it's pretty dear to me. It was in the middle of July, so it was a really hot day, and the weather was just amazing. And I got to meet up with a guy from the class, Michael, that I'm friends with, and Alex Sullivan, who a few people from the course would know. And yeah, just my first outdoor gig, so it was just really nice.
They brought us to their world famous vineyards. It was 100 kilometers of underground tunnels where they stored the very best of the wines that used to be supplied to Moscow and the rest of Russia. Now the funny story was when we went, they were showing us the place where a guy called Yuri Gagarin, who was the first human into space, a Russian who went up as a cosmonaut in 1961. When he came back to Earth, he was feted all over the world, but particularly in Russia, and so he used to escape to this vineyard, and he would disappear down there for days on end, enjoying the solitude and the wine that was available. We had a great afternoon there, but the result was we didn't get the work done that we planned to do, and that's why we ran out of time. So I had the idea, why don't I just stay one extra day? Everybody thought this was a good idea. However, we didn't know the complications.
For me, when I wanted to proper start giving music a go as a career, would have been when I first learned or realised when I first learned about what depression and anxiety was, and being taken out of where I'm from, Dublin, and moving to another county. And the isolation from that, and then lots of, whether it be positive or negative stuff happening in my personal life, and then just constantly being in my own thoughts was just, it wasn't fun. And over the course of a few months of doing that, and then realising that I was already doing music and stuff like that, but I never really took it too seriously. But from that, I decided one day that I'm going to proper give it a go. And from then, it took a while to start to try getting that certain mind frame of doing stuff like that. But the best thing for it was throwing myself into Ableton and making music. And then from that, I've noticed just to work on it every day. You just have a routine and wake up at like 6 in the morning, wake up straight onto Ableton until like midday, make breakfast, and then be on Ableton again for the whole rest of the day till like 10 o'clock and go to bed. go seeking then the same thing over and over and over. And then, without even realising, you just get sucked into it.
Greenpeace's 2010 auction price calendar has just been released. The book contains 18,000 recent auction prices I've compiled on all types of farm equipment. Cost is only $19.95 plus shipping and handling.
I think of money, don't spend it all because then you'll be poor.
I don't know, just currency, I guess.
It means a lot to me. It means freedom, independency.
Money cannot buy happiness because you have to make happiness yourself.
It can bring some happiness to you, but you can't rely on just money for happiness.
I think in most cases, yes, money, you can buy almost everything if you have money. You can buy like friendship, love, whatever. Like people are naturally love you if you are more kinda rich. That's what I noticed.
No, they can not bring it because that's one of your feelings.
Personally, if I had money, it wouldn't make me sad. I'd be happy if I had money. But I guess it can sometimes if you're not spending it the right way.
I'd say depends on the source of money. If, for example, your parents give you like house, cars and so on, you probably not really value it that much.
First of all, I would buy a Lamborghini. First of all, you should learn how to drive. I would treat my whole family really nice with money. Proud.
Move out. That'd be my first thing. Buy a house, a nice car, and then just live my life.
I think it is important for planet to contribute to invest in science.
If there were no consequences, then I would just give money to others and keep a bit for myself.
And I skateboard. I'm gonna get myself a new skateboard, but that's about it.
I think I still keep doing science.
I would try looking around town for poor people and then I would give it so they could be rich and I could leave myself.
Solve world hunger, I guess.
Check.
I don't like coins. I don't like cash at all because it's just a spending on resources on something that is already virtual.
Never got on check, so I'm gonna say coins. Cause I hate coins. Don't like coins at all. Just having a note is easier.
I would like to travel again because I was supposed to go on holiday this year and obviously got cancelled. So I would like to go travel again, like whether it be with family or friends and stuff.
I would say the deadlines are a lot closer together because they're trying to make room for other stuff that we would have got to do, so we wouldn't be having to do some of the projects. So it's definitely like the week's kind of busier. You feel like you're doing way more college work than you would have done before.
Look how old that is. Does it work? Yeah, it seems to be. I might use this for the vlog. Oh, that's it. Alright guys, we're gonna use this, I think. We just found it randomly.
All along the back road, Sally, Holly and Hazel leading the way. A pensive guard of honour, all of us heading towards the shortest day. Mikey's moving the cows. He names nearby townlands, Lisconnell, Ardbrack, where cancer has been an unwelcome visitor.
grew up in West Kerry in a little village called Ballinangowl in Irish.
Tríon tanim a bhí a riamh nóir a bhí sa fáil suas agus ní léana ró chénta díirn carna héamh gur chuir a chamanam sinéis. Ach, Bally David a ghlainn siad as spirit.
Pravica is a multifaceted multimedia project, an ethnographic exploration of 3 generations and their connection to a place, specifically Ballydavid, a village in West Kerry, and the relationship my mother, my nana and I have with it. I decided to create a piece about Ballydavid and the roots and bond my mother and my nana have for it, as I wanted to make something that would encapsulate the love I have for the village, the Irish language and the beauty of West Kerry. When I began playing with the topic, I didn't know what shape it would take. I knew I wanted to conduct interviews and collect some stories I've been told since I was little. But it was only when I began trying to put it down on paper that I realised the best format for this piece was a collage-style site where the user can move about the site as they please, discovering new stories and tidbits as they go along. I created the site using an early web aesthetic. The audio preloads and there's no fancy navigation tab nor clear formatting. A lot of the content on the site is vintage and dated looking. I wanted the look and feel of the site to reflect that content. I didn't want to create a website that looked and worked like every other site. Rather, my goal was to create a workbook, collage-style site where the user must explore to move forward to the next page or to find a new piece of the story.
My father was a tradesman and he used to make coffins and canoes, boats, and build houses.
It really came alive, and it'd be great activity in the pubs and great singing and playing of music, and there'd be lots of tourists around.
Last year I spent a lot of time with my mum and my nana during lockdown, chatting and reminiscing, dreaming of Ballydavid. My mum has instilled in me a great love of the Irish language and a deep appreciation for this beautiful place. I wanted to make something that could convey this love and appreciation. It took me a very long time to complete this project. I conducted a number of interviews, collected images, photographs and maps, searched through archives and travelled to Kerry to take pictures of the village and record the sound of the area. Once I had all the materials collected, I had to decide on the mode in which I would show my work. I settled on collage as the methodology. I liked the idea of using little pieces to create a new whole. All of the stories I collected, together with the images and sounds, create a new place, a new feeling. I learned skills and work practices I'd never used before, and I am in love with what has come out of it. Not only did I get to create this beautiful site that acts as a scrapbook one can explore and hear beautiful stories and memories, I got to create new memories with my mother and my nana as they helped me along the way, all through this process. I will cherish this project forever. You can explore the project at pravica.ie.
Well, as the familiar music plays, unfortunately, LJ's teammates came up short, but can he do the biggest task he's ever had to do and dethrone the Irish Ace?
The actual jump from fan to wrestler is something that I don't think is actually as complex as people think. To me, the wrestlers are just the fans who are that bit extra crazy that they actually decided to give it a go. However, for me, my actual journey within wrestling from when I started, from my very, very first trainings to get to where I am now, well, that's a completely different story and a whole different side of the journey.
This is not about paying back Jordan Devlin. This is about taking from Jordan Devlin today.
I've spent long enough now trying to show off to you what my career is, or at least was pre-pandemic, with, you know, how cool everything looks. Like, I have my nice gear, I'm on these big shows, there's good crowds, but this clip you see right here, this is when, besides my first actual training, this is where it all started. This is a clip from my very, very first match when I was 14 years of age, back in 2014. You can see me right there in the knockoff lucha wrestling mask, And I can assure you, this might have been 7-8 years ago, but I can still remember to this day not having a clue what was going on. Even looking at here, so like these are, I put in, I showed with the DVDs how much money had gone into the fandom of it. Something that maybe I thought would stop by the time I was actually arrested, but I could.
This is moving it to the maximum set of restrictions.
That's me sitting on the skateboard, which up until a couple of months ago I'd never stepped foot on before. But with the COVID-19 lockdowns closing just about everything, including the rugby club where I played every week since I was 15, I was left to find something new to pass the time. Which for me meant trying my hand at skateboarding, and this video is about my experience of switching from rugby to trying to skateboard in Ireland. Obviously these are two completely different sports. There's three main things I found interesting when taking up skateboarding. One, being my own previous notions of skateboarding. Two, just how much of a role location plays. And three, just the sports culture in general surrounding skateboarding. Starting with number one, my own previous notions of skateboarding. Starting with my own notions, most of my past experience of skateboarding came from Tony Hawk games when I was younger. Now, I didn't really expect skateboarding to be a more efficient form of travel than cars, and for me to be able to fly around Ireland setting land speed records on 4 wheels and a plank of wood. But it definitely did give me the impression that skateboarding might be a bit easier than it actually is. And when I first stepped on a skateboard, I genuinely looked like a doe trying to walk for the first time. The only thing I can say for certain is that Tony Hawk games are unreal.
What are you looking at, Ryan?
I'm looking at builders, Cara. They're annoying me. They're making too much noise.
Oh my god, you complain about anything, won't you?
Oh, shut up. They're annoying my dog.
Oh my god, of course they are. You've always been like this, you know that, right? Like, do you remember when we were kids? We couldn't even sit together in class because if I so much as bounced my knee, you'd straight away call the teacher on me. You were so annoying.
That's because you annoyed me all the time. The littlest things you do just annoy me so
You're just
much.
making that up. I was the delight as a child. You were lucky I wanted to be your friend.
Right, okay. How about all those competitions that you won?
I won all of those fair and square. Excuse you.
Alright, fine. You know what? Okay, how about this? Do a new competition.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Since we're both bad at art, you can just do an art competition.
Yeah, that seems fair. I mean, it would prove that I am still better than you, but you can have a chance then.
Alright then. How about this? As one of the first rules, we're not allowed paint.
Okay. Second rule, you have to recreate an art piece.
Come on. I'm gonna go take a nap. Okay, right. I think I know what I'm gonna do to beat Cara. I can do this. Wait, what? What is that? What is that noise? What is that inside his head? Weird dream.
Oh my god, where am I? What's happened to my body? What? Maybe he knows something. Shit, missed him. Huh. What's this? god, what?
I knew since the time that I was a kid that I always wanted to be a nurse. I can never really imagine myself doing anything else with my life. It's always something I wanted to do. And I suppose I knew getting into it how hard it was going to be, but the conditions are just so much worse than people could actually imagine.
Student nurses are plugging the gaps in a health system that is under severe pressure. Our student nurses do amazing work. Our students are being taken for granted. They are facing huge workloads and risking COVID-19 infection, and while they're doing indispensable work, they are getting no financial recognition for their efforts. It is beyond time to respect their contribution and to pay them.
We were told now on placement we'd be getting €100. We were told that back in, I don't know, the start of December. People are on placement now, they haven't seen a penny, and I think, I was reading the message and it just kind of sounded like they were just trying to push it off as far as they can. But so that's the €100. Whether that comes or not, I don't know. But I don't think we have a lot of support from the government really at all.
€100, which in any event is an absolute insult. €100 for doing, 12-hour shifts. Again, we were getting descriptions of incredible hours and in succession that student nurses and midwives are doing. To be paid €100 works out about $2.50 an hour. It's just shocking exploitation.
If I was to redo college or go back 5 years or whatever, I probably wouldn't do nursing anymore, just because it had made my family sick and everything. There was so much to it.
The third wave was far worse. There were so many more younger people in hospital, and seeing younger people, I think, really throws you off. And being at my local hospital, I knew a lot of the patients and a lot of the families coming in, so I just felt because I knew so many of the people and all their interactions, I was it just felt really, really close to home.
I don't really think I'll ever be able to stay in this country as a nurse. It's a really hard thing to think about, knowing you're gonna either have to choose between your career or the country you were born in, where you want to live. Ideally, I'd love to stay in Ireland, but realistically, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to.
I think that's the important thing for young people to realise. You're as good as anybody else. You deserve a future. You're important, and you have the power to change things when you work together. And I think if you really fundamentally believe that, and I fundamentally believe it, I believe in people power driven change. So it is about discovering your own power, and the student nurse and midwives have given an example of that. But the thing is just, to keep going. Fighting for justice, fighting for rights, fighting for respect, fighting for change. It's not always easy.
My name is Noemi Laskai. I have a twin sister named Ruth. I also live with my mom and my dad. It seems like our family is pretty small. There's only 4 of us, but we have so much more people. We first went back in 2008. That was the first time I realized, oh my gosh, I have so many people in my family. So first, we will start with my mom's side. Even though my sister and I were born in Manila, Philippines, my parents actually come from Surigao del Norte, which is in the southern island of the Philippines called Mindanao. My mom was born in a small town called Marga. My maternal grandmother's name is Hermohina, and my maternal grandfather is Teodolo. My maternal grandmother, Hermohina, was born in 1937, and she was the eldest out of 6 siblings. But my grandmother got married at a young age, 9 kids in total. Federico, Rafael, Maria, Marvin or Melvin, Teodolito, Elaine, Marilu, Larry, and Gina. My maternal great-grandmother, Pelagia, was actually born in Camiguin Islands before she moved to Surigao del Norte.
For this project, I wanted to do something that had significance to me.
It is for this reason I decided to make an interactive video. My interactive video uses the web-based program Echo Studio. Echo allowed me to create an easy-to-navigate educational video. It allows the user to click and choose their own option on screen so they can explore and learn at their own pace. But what do I mean when I say it allows the user to click and choose their own option on screen? What I mean by this is Echo allows the creator to make a series of varying paths that lead the viewer through the video, gradually showing more and more of the narrative. This project means a lot to me because the world has been living with a global pandemic for over a year, and I believe it is now more important than ever to be considerate of people's personal lives and what they may be living with or how they are experiencing the world. There was a lot of planning to go into this project. I had to learn more about autism and neurodivergency than I already knew, how to make a space more inclusive and how to cater to any sensory needs a person might have. And that's where the pre-production phase is so useful, because you're learning and you're developing and you're finding out what works and what doesn't work. And while I'm happy I'd done so much planning, there was a lot of material that did not make it into the final product. And it's okay that some pieces haven't made it into the final project, because I now know them for my own life and how to be more considerate of other people and their personal situations.
Welcome to the making of Niamh, the Witch to Be and the Mystical Me.
Niamh, die mögliche Hexe und das mystische Ich.
A German-English children's book that deals with themes of gender identity and the LGBTQ+ community.
My name is Fritzi Krug. I'm 24 years old. I use they, them pronouns in English and any pronouns in German. And I'm currently a student of German law and politics. And in this project, my part was to write the story, translate the story, and to be a critical person in general.
Hi, I'm Lisa Murray, 23 years old. I use she, her pronouns. And I'm a final year student in TU Dublin Tala campus. This book project is part of my final year project. I'm quite interested in graphic design and illustration.
My name is Nila Hesselman. I use she, her pronouns. I'm 24 years old and I'm a social worker. I work with children and teenagers, so I've read a ton of children's books. And I always wanted to make my own.
We brought aspects of each other's like culture and history, and when we're coming up with characters, we did a lot of research into like German mythology and Irish mythology. Not only are we working in COVID, but I'm in Dublin and the other two are not, they're in Germany. So the story of the book kind of came together through all of us brainstorming, and we all had different things that we were interested in and wanted to add into the book.
In books, especially in books for children, there's not much happening when it comes to non-cis perspectives and non-queer perspectives. And I just thought that there's probably a lot of people that are trans or that are non-binary or that are queer and that don't know that they are because they never come in touch with those things and those perspectives.
Not only is Niamh non-binary, but also there are characters with different skin tones, with different abilities, and also that it's not a problem and is sometimes not even mentioned.
I think it also shows that you can trust yourself and you can trust that if you feel a certain way, that you should believe yourself. Yeah, why not start young? Why not start with a children's book?
Bye.
Cheers.
Slán, goodbye.
Bye. That's how every call ends, right?
Where do we go when we're finally gone? Will we wake up on the other side of a gate? Regardless of sex, colour or faith. Spread thin in memories, will we live at all? Or will we be brought to life by what we pass on? Will we be found in the thoughts of a friend? Or in the wind that catches you around a bend? The sun, as it warms your skin and bones, might remind you of a hug that once was home. Or the grass, as it tickles your ankles in spring. The smells of flowers, or the birds when they sing. Sometimes, at night as I fall asleep, with the weight of this question crushing down on me, I already miss those I live to love, and I'm scared of where I might go. In times like that, I think of a tree, a lake, grass, the crashing sea. And in those places, I find you living. Your laugh, your voice, the love you give me. And in those moments, I shed a tear. But it's enough to know you once were here.
This is the calm before the storm.
We're holding this press briefing to confirm that Ireland has had its first case diagnosed of COVID-19.
Today has been a good day. I got up early because the weather's been a lot nicer, so it's been easier to get up and out of bed.
I'm fine. It was no different to any other lockdown weekend, unfortunately.
We're confident from how we've seen cases that have arisen in this way around Europe in particular, that they can be reasonably successfully contained in the majority of cases.
Obviously, you know, pre-COVID, everyone's going in and out. No one's wearing masks. You know, people going everywhere, doing everything. You know, you'd have 20 people in the room, everyone's on lunch together. But now, it's everyone's being super careful. Obviously, you know, in the hospital. I think the biggest thing is lunch times. Like before COVID, even on first placement, you know, we'd all be sitting in a room together, just chatting. Like the big hospital because I was in St. Vincent's.
Yeah.
So, you know, you go, you grab your food, and there's so much buzz around the place. But now everywhere's so quiet.
And I think there was like this thing in people's heads where it was like, oh, well, COVID was just like a 2020 thing. 2021 will be so much different. And it's like, we're in March and it's no different. Like, if anything, it's worse.
I think people had the right kind of attitude going into 21, being like, okay, new year, you know, going to be more positive, everything's going to go back to normal. And then obviously things didn't go back to normal. Things kind of got worse, I would say, because like you said, it's been the longest lockdown we've been in so far. And I think that kind of really made people just like drop.
Not that we needed a pandemic. We definitely did not need a pandemic with a load of losses, needless loss. But I think, if anything, it'll put things into perspective from now on, hopefully, for the rest of our lives, and make us realise that, like, something like this happened, you know, it could always happen again. So just take each day as a blessing.